In the 21st century, women around the world are increasingly stepping into roles that were once considered beyond their reach. From leading multinational corporations to pioneering scientific research, from shaping public policy to building successful entrepreneurial ventures, women are proving their capabilities and redefining what leadership, talent, and resilience look like. Their growing influence across diverse sectors is a testament to their ambition, education, and determination to break through long-standing barriers. Yet, despite these remarkable strides, a deeper look reveals that many women still find themselves needing to work harder than their male counterparts to gain the same level of recognition, respect, or leadership opportunities. The journey to being seen as equally competent or deserving is often longer and filled with more obstacles. This reality is not always a reflection of their abilities, but rather of the subtle and persistent expectations placed on them by society, the workplace, and even within themselves. This video will explore why this is the case, taking a closer look at the factors that contribute to this extra effort. By understanding these challenges, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the perseverance and resilience that women embody in their pursuit of recognition and respect, all while striving to create a more equal and understanding society. 1. Historical and social factors with long-lasting impact. Historically, the role of women has largely been confined to home and family life. For centuries, societal norms dictated that a woman's primary responsibility was to care for the household and raise children, leaving little room for personal development or aspirations beyond the domestic sphere. These traditional expectations were deeply ingrained into the social fabric, limiting women's opportunities for education, career advancement, and personal fulfillment. This historical context has shaped not only the opportunities available to women, but also the way society perceives their value and potential. Even today, the remnants of these deeply rooted societal norms still influence the way women are treated and the challenges they face. Although women have made remarkable progress in the past century, the weight of tradition lingers, particularly in cultures where gender roles are still rigidly defined. The notion that a woman should excel at both her professional life and domestic responsibilities without complaint or support is a burden many still carry. For many women, the expectation isn't just to perform well, but to do so flawlessly, balancing career, family, and personal life in a way that continues to be scrutinized more heavily than it is for their male counterparts. These societal expectations are compounded by unconscious biases that persist in various sectors, even as society progresses. In the workplace, women often have to work harder to prove their competence and leadership capabilities. While their male counterparts may be given the benefit of the doubt or promoted for their potential, women frequently find themselves needing to prove their worth time and time again. Demonstrating not only skill and expertise, but also resilience and emotional strength. This unequal starting point is a direct consequence of a long history that placed women in secondary roles, which society continues to address only slowly and imperfectly. The impact of these ingrained norms is evident in how women are often perceived when they achieve success. Success in their careers or public life may still be seen as extraordinary for a woman, rather than being acknowledged as the result of merit or talent. It is as if their achievements are always measured against a higher standard, the assumption being that women must overcome more obstacles than men to be worthy of recognition. This dynamic creates a unique form of pressure for women. They are not just working to succeed in their fields, but also to break free from long-standing societal expectations and stereotypes. While they are no longer confined by explicit limitations, the invisible barriers created by centuries of tradition still impact their ability to advance as freely as their male counterparts. As a result, women often find themselves in a constant state of proving, which, though it has led to remarkable achievements, also places an additional emotional and mental strain on them. 2. The pressure of multiple roles and societal expectations. One of the most persistent challenges women face today is the pressure of juggling multiple roles. Women are expected not only to excel in their professional careers, but also to manage the responsibilities of family life, often with little room for personal time or self-care. This dual expectation, to be successful in both the public and private spheres, creates a heavy burden that is both demanding and difficult to navigate. The societal expectation that women should be both competent professionals and nurturing caregivers sets an almost impossible standard. The phrase, "to be good at work and great at home," is an unwritten rule that many women feel obligated to follow. In their careers, women are expected to meet or exceed performance standards, often in competitive environments where success is measured by quantifiable achievements and long hours. Yet, at the same time, they're also expected to maintain an immaculate home, raise children with love and care, and fulfill the emotional and social needs of their families. This double duty can lead to constant feelings of inadequacy, as women are frequently made to feel that no matter how hard they try, they are falling short in at least one of these areas. In many cultures, this expectation is deeply ingrained and often goes unchallenged, meaning that women carry this mental and emotional load without the support or understanding of others. The pressures of balancing these two demanding worlds can often result in women facing guilt for not spending enough time with their children, for not dedicating enough energy to their work, or for not having enough time for self-care. This is exacerbated by the fact that when women do prioritize one aspect of their lives over the other, they are frequently criticized or judged. If a woman focuses on her career, she may be perceived as neglecting her family. If she chooses to focus on her family, she may be seen as not ambitious or falling behind professionally. This dual expectation also impacts the way women approach their work. Often, women feel the need to prove their worth at work, knowing that their contributions will be scrutinized more than those of their male counterparts. The idea of doing it all leads to feelings of exhaustion and burnout, as women are forced to push themselves beyond their limits to meet both family and professional demands. Moreover, this pressure can hinder career advancement, as the time and energy required to meet both expectations may limit a woman's ability to take on new challenges or leadership roles that would allow for further growth. The societal pressure for women to excel in every aspect of their lives, from being the ideal employee to the perfect mother or partner, results in an ongoing internal conflict. Women often have to navigate a world where their worth is measured not just by their professional achievements, but also by their ability to conform to traditional ideas of womanhood. In the end, this creates a deeply ingrained sense of guilt and self-doubt, making it difficult for women to fully embrace the idea that they can choose their own paths and prioritize their own needs without facing judgment. The expectation that women must excel in every role they take on is rooted in outdated societal norms, yet it remains a significant pressure today. As a result, women often feel as though they must constantly prove themselves, both to society and to themselves. This cycle of proving, combined with the fear of failure in one role or another, can leave women feeling overwhelmed and emotionally drained, further perpetuating the need to work harder and do more to be seen as worthy of respect and recognition. 3. Barriers to advancement. Despite the significant progress made in recent decades, women still face considerable obstacles when it comes to career advancement. One of the most notable challenges is the disparity in leadership opportunities. In many industries, women are still underrepresented in top management positions or in roles that offer substantial influence and decision-making power. This imbalance means that women often have to work harder, demonstrate more competence, and put in more hours just to be considered for leadership roles that their male counterparts may be naturally assumed to be fit for. In many cases, even when women reach positions of authority, they are still not afforded the same level of respect or credibility as their male peers. The lack of leadership opportunities for women is not always the result of overt discrimination. Instead, it often stems from more subtle, systemic barriers, biases that are woven into the fabric of many workplaces. These biases may not be openly expressed, but can manifest in everyday decision-making, hiring practices, and promotion processes. For example, women might be passed over for leadership roles in favor of male colleagues, even if their qualifications and experience are equal or superior. This happens in part because leadership qualities are often stereotypically associated with traits that are more commonly attributed to men, such as assertiveness, decisiveness, and a competitive nature. On the other hand, qualities often ascribed to women, such as empathy and collaboration, are sometimes undervalued in high-level leadership positions, even though these traits can be just as critical for effective leadership. Furthermore, the idea of a glass ceiling, an invisible barrier that prevents women from rising to the highest levels of leadership, is still very much a reality in many industries. This ceiling is not always the result of blatant discrimination, but rather the accumulation of smaller everyday challenges that hinder women's progress. A woman may be passed over for a promotion because she is perceived as less committed to her work due to her family obligations, or she may face an unspoken bias that undermines her authority, despite her qualifications. These subtle barriers often prevent women from advancing in their careers, leading them to feel that they must work twice as hard to achieve the same recognition or opportunity that a man might receive with less effort. The persistence of gender bias in the workplace, even when it is not overt, creates an environment where women are constantly forced to prove themselves. They may feel the need to work longer hours, overperform in their roles, and showcase an unwavering commitment to their job in order to be seen as capable and deserving of promotion. This constant need to go above and beyond can lead to burnout and frustration, as women find themselves striving for recognition in environments where opportunities are limited and biases are entrenched. Moreover, the reluctance of some organizations to address gender disparities in leadership only perpetuates this cycle. While there may be policies in place to support diversity, the lack of tangible action or genuine efforts to create inclusive environments can leave women feeling stuck in roles with little opportunity for growth. In such cases, women's talents and potential remain untapped, and they are left to fight against invisible barriers that make the climb to the top feel almost insurmountable. The lack of equal leadership opportunities for women not only stifles their individual career growth, but also deprives organizations and society at large of the full range of talent, innovation, and perspectives that women bring to the table. Breaking down these barriers is essential for creating a more inclusive and equitable environment where everyone, regardless of gender, has the opportunity to rise to their fullest potential. 4. The constant need to prove oneself. For many women, career advancement is not just about meeting expectations, it's about surpassing them. In order to gain recognition, women often feel they must achieve excellence in a way that goes beyond the norm. This need to prove themselves arises from a complex mix of societal expectations and internal pressures. Unlike men, whose achievements may be assumed to be the result of competence, women often have to deliver extraordinary results to earn the same recognition and respect. This phenomenon is not just external, it's also internalized. Many women carry a deep-seated belief that their worth must be continually demonstrated, that they must excel in every project and exceed the expectations of their superiors. While this drive can lead to impressive accomplishments, it also comes with a heavy cost. Women who feel this pressure often find themselves in a constant state of striving for perfection, haunted by the idea that any misstep will reflect poorly on their abilities or justify the underlying belief that women are not as capable as men. This need to perform at an exceptional level is compounded by the subtle societal message that women must earn their place. Every success is often overshadowed by the question, is this enough? No matter how hard they work or how much they achieve, the fear that it's not enough can linger, pushing women to go even further. It's as if every milestone they reach opens the door to an even greater expectation, leaving little room for contentment or rest. At its core, this constant drive to prove oneself can become a cycle of overachievement. Women may set impossibly high standards for themselves, believing that anything less than perfection is unacceptable. The pursuit of this ideal can be exhausting, both mentally and physically. The very qualities that help women succeed, persistence, diligence, resilience, can eventually lead to burnout. The drive to prove their worth at every turn doesn't just drain their energy, it can leave them questioning their value, even when they succeed. This internal pressure often makes it difficult for women to truly embrace their accomplishments. Rather than celebrating their success, they may downplay it, unsure whether they really deserve the recognition. Instead of feeling proud, the focus is often on what more can be done, what's left to achieve. This cycle can hold women back from stepping into leadership roles or taking risks. As the fear of failure becomes a shadow they can't shake, they may constantly worry that one mistake will undo everything they've worked so hard for. What's more, this drive to prove themselves is often exacerbated by the broader societal narrative, which still tends to measure a woman's success against an ideal of perfection, a standard that is far more rigid than what men typically face. As a result, the path to success for many women is paved with not only hard work, but also the need to overcome invisible barriers of expectation. Breaking free from this cycle requires more than just individual determination. It calls for a shift in how success is defined, where achievements are valued for their intrinsic merit, rather than being seen as a reflection of constant effort to earn respect. Until then, many women will continue to carry the weight of proving themselves, even in moments when their accomplishments should already speak for themselves. 5. The desire to redefine personal value. For many women, the drive to succeed is not only about personal achievement. It is about challenging and dismantling long-standing barriers that have historically limited their potential. These women are not simply working hard to climb the professional ladder. They are pushing against a system that has long defined them by their gender rather than their skills and abilities. Their efforts go beyond the desire for personal success. They are striving to create a legacy that will pave the way for future generations to be seen and valued for their capabilities, not their gender. This aspiration to redefine personal value reflects a deep need to change the narrative around what defines success and worth. For too long, women have been expected to prove themselves in ways that are disproportionate to their male counterparts. In many spheres, success for women has been measured through a lens of societal expectations that place an undue emphasis on traditional roles, be it as a mother, a caregiver, or a subordinate in a professional environment. As a result, many women have had to go above and beyond, not just to achieve, but to break free from these limiting definitions of who they can be. The determination to achieve greatness, and to do so on their own terms, is often rooted in the desire to shift how women are perceived. Women no longer want to be seen as exceptions to the rule or as outliers in male-dominated fields. Instead, they are advocating for a world where women are recognized and respected equally, where they are valued not for their gender, but for their unique skills, talents, and contributions. This is not merely about doing more to prove themselves, but about creating a new paradigm that allows women to be defined by what they can do, not by who they are supposed to be. A powerful example of this can be seen in the world of technology and entrepreneurship, where women like Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, have redefined what it means to be a successful entrepreneur. Blakely started with a vision and a desire to innovate in a space dominated by men. Despite the skepticism she faced, she proved that women could not only succeed, but also lead in industries where they had previously been overlooked. Her success has been an inspiration for many women who are now challenging traditional business norms and redefining what it means to be a leader in a male-dominated space. This quest to break through old limitations is not just about individual success, but about creating a shift in societal perceptions. Women want to be acknowledged for their hard work, their ingenuity, and their leadership without the shadow of gender bias hanging over them. They are striving to be recognized for their ideas, their innovation, and their contributions, rather than being judged based on outdated assumptions about what women can or cannot do. For women today, working harder and striving for excellence is often tied to a larger mission, the desire to create a world where future generations of women will not have to struggle to prove their worth in the same way. This desire to reshape personal value is part of a broader movement to create a more inclusive and equitable society, where success is defined by ability, not gender. The women who challenge the status quo today are the pioneers who are creating a world in which gender will no longer be a barrier to achieving one's fullest potential. The need for women to work harder and prove themselves is not a reflection of their abilities or worth, but rather a response to the complex web of societal, psychological, and cultural factors that have long shaped their journey. These challenges, though difficult, are not insurmountable, and the determination women show in overcoming them is both inspiring and essential. Every step they take toward breaking down barriers not only empowers them, but also contributes to shifting societal perceptions about value, success, and potential, moving us closer to a world where one's worth is judged by their abilities and character, rather than their gender. The efforts of women are invaluable, and it is crucial that we recognize and honor their resilience. Each of their achievements brings us one step closer to a more equal, inclusive society where everyone, regardless of gender, can be celebrated for their contributions and capabilities. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.